Hey, it's my favorite holiday! Happy Halloween, everybody! Now, before you go saying anything, I do know this is not a Mario Party video. I really tried the best I could to make a Halloween special themed around Mario Party. But for what I put together, you could make it not Halloween related and the video would not change, and I just don't want to do that. It would feel half-assed. I don't want to do what I did in 2021, which is have a few things Halloween related, but for the most part, the video is not Halloween themed. But I just could not find a way to make it Halloween themed, so give me a little bit of a break, please. I tried the best I could, but really, I could make another Mario Party video some other time that doesn't have to be related around Halloween. So with all of that out of the way, let me just go ahead and get my 2 cents out and give my quick thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Going into the FNAF movie, I had very, very low expectations for it because I have to go into something with low expectations so that way I am not disappointed and end up upsetting myself. But like the Mario movie, I was quite surprised with how the movie turned out, and I actually ended up really enjoying it, especially as a former, very loving, not so much now FNAF fan. I can confidently say it was a good movie. I do know that there are a lot of critics that are just crapping on the movie and just giving it absolute, it's not a horror movie, it's just got a little bit of tense moments and such. I do understand that, but like I said with the Mario movie, if you're gonna go and see some kind of media that is directed and based around one specific topic, you kinda gotta get into what it's about in order to fully understand the movie. And that's where I feel a lot of people did not like the Mario movie from, because they never experienced anything really Mario related. They don't play the games, they don't know the characters. If you know what you are watching when watching something based off of, you know, something as small as Five Nights at Freddy's, you tend to enjoy it more, and I can say that about the Mario movie, and I can more than confidently say that about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie as well. If you are a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, you are going to enjoy this movie, odds are, and if you are not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, don't bother seeing it, because you don't know enough about the franchise to really wrap your head around everything, and you're gonna end up probably confused more than anything leaving the theater. But for the fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, odds are you're going to absolutely love this movie, because I have not been a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's since Sister Location in 2016. I really fell out of the FNAF fandom, especially with children taking it over and, you know, just ruining the image of the community like they did with every other thing before. So I kind of quit being the huge, like, try to figure out everything FNAF lore fan and such, and just fell out of the loop with the Five Nights at Freddy's community. I still kept up with the games here and there, like, I still know a lot about Security Breach, but it's just not enough to keep my interest anymore. I was a big enough fan of the games, though, to at least watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and give it a chance, and I was actually quite surprised with it. The beginning was pretty good, and it's a nice way to show people that don't know FNAF, hey, this is basically like what happens in the games, and this is what the movie's gonna be based around, and it's a really nice nod to the fans, like, yes, this is going to be a movie dedicated to all of you. It's just, again, a lot of critics went in there not knowing anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, so they were expecting a horror movie, kinda got one. I'd say Five Nights at Freddy's is more of a suspense movie than anything, like a mystery suspense movie. Not necessarily horror, because there isn't really anything scary in it. If you find the FNAF movie scary, I don't even want to start. That does have to be one of my biggest criticisms about the movie, is people going into it not knowing a damn thing about Five Nights at Freddy's and just not liking it. As a fan, oh yeah, movie's absolutely wonderful. Like, I can confidently say, I watched it with a bunch of my friends, some of them weren't even Five Nights at Freddy's fans, and they still enjoyed the movie because they knew bits and pieces about the game. The story, it was okay. I can see why people didn't like the dream sequence. It kinda felt like stretching things a little bit, but again, you kinda have to suspend disbelief because it's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. You do have to suspend a little bit of disbelief when watching the movie because, yeah, that isn't really how things work in the real world, but it's a movie, it's not supposed to be realistic. Hell, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, it's not supposed to be realistic. When you have something like Five Nights at Freddy's that is just a point-and-click survival horror game, or what it started out as per se, I do think with what they did with the whole dream sequence, interlooping it with the whole 5 missing children, I can see people's criticisms for it, but I didn't pay much mind to it. I thought it was, you know, it helped get the story to where it needed to be. I expected it to not be completely dedicated to the games, like everything happened the way it happened in the game. I will give them credit though, there are some scenes where I was very surprised they actually paid that much attention to detail with. Like with Chica being the only one going into the kitchen, Bonnie being in the closet, or how they had one specific hallway where Foxy would chase you down the hallway because that's what Foxy did in the first game. That attention to detail I really do appreciate because it shows they paid somewhat attention to the game. The movie felt very small. I have seen a lot of people talk about like the locations and stuff. Aside from the main locations, you don't really see any other spot in the movie, but I do think that plays into the first game. Because the first game was just one location and there was barely anything to go off of, not like the little mini games that we'd have from the future entries and such, or the multiple locations for that matter. The first game was the very first location, the first, stepping stone for the franchise, and I can see why they did the same thing with the movie. And it does feel really well done because it's just like the first game, it's a small location. There are gonna be small locations throughout the movie that you frequently visit. I did appreciate that, keeping it small just like the original game was. Now, the second movie, I don't know where they're gonna go from there, or the franchise for that matter. Because of how things were in the first movie, something like Security Breach, I don't think they could make Security Breach the same, because, Vanessa being involved the way she is. But I still think they're gonna do something good with the second movie. God forbid they make Toy Chica any bit of a fan service character. A lot of people are gonna go see that just to see Toy Chica on the big screen. I mean, to be fair, if Roxy was on the big... So with the locations and the story and such, I can see the criticisms, but for what they had to work with, I can appreciate it because it could have been so much worse. I was expecting a really bad, cringy kids movie, but I didn't really get that. I got that from the audience more than anything, and oh my god, that has to be my biggest criticism with the audience. Like, I'm sorry, but the thing that pissed me off the entire movie, the worst part, was not the movie's fault. It was the audience. I sat in like the 6th row, like from the front, and there was a group of like teenagers, young adults behind me, where every 5 fucking seconds they had to commentate on the movie like it was a damn YouTube video. It pissed my entire group off so badly, and one of the people in my group even turned around and shushed them, and it worked for like 5 seconds, and they went right back to what they were doing. It pissed all of us off. Oh my god, Chica's in the kitchen, Chica's the only one in the kitchen, Chica's the only one in the kitchen, oh my god, you gotta look out, don't open the fridge, it's gonna get you, oh my god, oh, what's happening, oh my god, it's the cupcake, get away from it, it's gonna eat your face off, oh my god, don't turn around, it's gonna be gone. I fucking hated that. I hate that so much. You are in a movie theater. How were you not taught this common sense? Holy damn, Jen. It has been a long time since you've had to bring that bit into a video. Like, I am sorry to people that are like that, but I just do not care for someone like that. I told my friends we'll want to get the VIP seats because of this, because with the way the theater is, they have the main area and such where you see the movie, and then you have the VIP seats in the very top back, to where you can completely avoid the entire main theater, and they didn't want to do that. And they regretted not doing that because of the very group of people behind us, because I knew there were going to be plenty of people like that in the theater. Again, it's not the movie's fault, but God, that really pisses me off. Just no care for anybody other than yourselves. And that's another thing with the critics that I really did not like. Like, critics go into movies knowing they don't know anything about what they're about to watch, but they think, I exist, therefore X means more than solving cancer does. Like, my X on Y means more than world hunger being solved. Like, that entitlement, I don't know where it's come from, but we are all worse off because of it, because there are way too many people that do that. Just go into something not knowing anything about what it is, and just criticizing it because they don't understand it. And to be fair, being surrounded with crowds like that, oh my god, oh, Bonnie's in the closet, just like in the game! I know, Jen, I know, I'm keeping it brief. Seeing that, like seeing critics that just don't understand it, and therefore it's not good, and seeing, fans that are just so overreactive and have just been raised on YouTube videos about Five Nights at Freddy's, it does not do the movie any favors, but again, it is not the movie's fault. The movie itself is good. The movie is actually really good if you are a FNAF fan. If you're a horror fan, not so much. If you're a critic, unless you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, just stay away from it. But I enjoyed it for what it was, and I can confidently give the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, as a fan, an 8 out of 10. You'll definitely enjoy it if you've been a fan of the game franchise in any point, way, shape, or form. Like, you'll enjoy it. With all of that out of the way, I do believe that's it for my quick thoughts on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Again, I will have a Mario Party video, you know, for the next time and such. I just couldn't think of a Mario Party themed Halloween video. I put myself in a position where I didn't have very long to come up with an idea, just, like I've always said, too much damn life, not enough time. But I will have a Mario Party video next time, so until then, thanks so much for watching, thanks to Jen for helping me make this video, and as always, take care, and have a good one.